So let's press on. Okay. 36th place, Duck Salmon, Lava Factory. Score 30.0, 32, 32, 25, 34, 27. 1 energy element and 3 Nobel Nickels. That tile set on the left-hand side in the wall has just triggered something in me. Pretty sure that is a secret area. Yes. Good. Glad I didn't miss that. Thanks for playing. A special thanks to the creator of this engine that makes true my childhood dream. This is my very first game level. I hope you enjoy it now. Good luck. Remember, this is Lava Factory. So as well as the message there, we get a Nobel Nickel, which is nice, rather than just a screen with a whole bunch of text in it. And I'm also now going to be wary to keep out for, or keep an eye out for, sections of the level that have that sort of tile with the breakable wall there. Yeah, I remember this. I don't remember this level thoroughly, but basing very much off Shadow Man's stage. But yeah, that little section of the wall there just sort of tipped me off to. Oh, actually, yeah, that looks like there's something hidden there. And yes, of course, I do remember that now quite vividly. This net is just placed ridiculously. It's probably going to spawn back on the screen. So hey, you can just die. Okay, not going to bother with you. Okay, you, hopefully, please don't glitch so your arms get stuck in midair. Okay, at this point in time, I guess that's kind of nice if you did miss it the first time. Okay, wheel cutter doesn't work on that. Is it slash claw then? Yep, fine. The sort of the stage then kind of teaches you that there are breakable walls in here. So if you did perhaps miss that first area, then the stage obviously teaches you now that you're going to have to use break apart various walls to get through. So that might sort of tip you off if you did miss that first Nobel Nickel when you replay the stage. Oh, be on the lookout for those kind of blocks. Okay, Met Dispenser, fairly straightforward, given it's on solid ground. Or sorry, so the ground I'm on is. That must be a fake out from memory. Or the ground I'm on is. Yeah, there's a wall there. Nice. It's flat. That's what I'm trying to get at there. Blur. And I can't help but feel actually I might have missed something there. Well, if I have missed something, I might have to do two more playthroughs because I might have to hug both walls with the wheel cutter and see if I've actually missed something there or not. Ah. Oh well. No big deal. Okay, that sort of area to the left there looks suspicious. Again, same tile as in the first room. Get all these bombs out of the way first, though. And yes, including that one. Nope, that one does not work. Okay. Keep forgetting I'm in water here. Okay, doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like that one's breakable. Okay, fine. Ah, dang it! How about that one? Nope. Okay. I did notice that the ones I was breaking apart with slash claw had like crack marks on them, so which is different to the one I broke apart in the first screen. Don't think they had crack marks on it. Possibly that block over there I might try with a wheel cutter. The same height as the Plant Man platforms. And of course, again, using wheel cutter. If it's not, then I'll just be able to ride up the wall. Okay, it's not. We have Nobel Nickel up there though, in plain sight. Okay, these tellies are a bit annoying, and they won't go up. I forgot I had a ladder there that I could. Whoa! Okay, they're good. There's no ceiling to this screen, so not banging my head on there, making that Nobel Nickel difficult to get. Okay, random telly screen. Giant enemy from or mid boss from Mega Man 6. Which always just seems really, really easy to me. And we're at the boss gate. Do we have a boss? Doesn't look like it. Shadow Man, hey, you cannot destroy everything every time. My precious wine factory. What? You thought that was lava? Haha, no son. Why do you think that Capcom's level designers put lava in a ninja stage? Please, take that orb and leave this place. I may just test that out before I touch the energy element, but it doesn't seem to be anything. Okay, fine. Well, it's a fairly straightforward stage to get through, but of course I am missing a Nobel Nickel, so yeah, I will replay that and see if I can, particularly on that big drop-down section, see if I can see if there is anywhere to, yeah, a secret passage or anything with maybe the wheel cutter on the drop-down. So yeah, that's the only place I could. I was on the lookout for those breakable platforms, so that's the only place I can think the one was that I missed one. But yeah, let's go Nobel Nickel hunting. I did not notice that cracked block there. That might be the key to this. Might be. Yes. Cool. I did not notice that. I was not looking on the floor. And it is indeed the last Nobel Nickel. Cool. Wonderful. Now, do we have to sort of just get out of here again as normal? Okay, we can't break apart that. Well, we've got the Nobel Nickel, so yeah, that was fairly painless then. No point replaying the entire level again. I'll just exit. Yeah, okay, fine. Quite neatly, quite nicely hidden that, actually. I was not looking for that. Admittedly, I wasn't looking for blocks with cracks in quite there. I mean, it did look like a very similar sort of tile set to the ones we've already talked about that you can break, obviously, with the wheel cutter or the slash claw. But we hadn't had a breakable a block with cracks in it up to that point that we had to go through, like a bit later on in that corridor. So yeah, wasn't really paying attention to the one with the cracks there. But okay, yeah, it was pretty straightforward to find second time round. So yeah, fine. Rather sneakily hidden, yeah. And well, as for the level overall, I guess it feels like it's another one of those. It's their stages. It doesn't feel like it does anything too amazing, but it's perfectly playable. There's nothing too obnoxious about it, and yeah, it feels like one of those kind of run-of-the-mill kind of average stages. To be honest, I like the music, and yeah, but I suppose it's just a bit disappointing again. No boss fight, but yeah. Overall, fairly decent stage. Just yeah, just didn't quite feel like it had too much going for it, and lack of a boss is a bit it hurts it a little bit. But yeah, not really much else to say, I don't think, on that one. Pretty nice level. It's not spectacular or anything, but it's fun. It has some clever design moments. I like how you use the jumping method at the beginning, and I liked how the underwater Nobel Nickel was hidden. In the end, though, it doesn't really do much, but it's fun either way, so it's not like a crime or anything. It's just overall a nicely designed and fun level. The fake energy element totally fooled me, and the wine joke at the end was funny. Probably the only issue I would have is that the secret dev room, not sure if I'd hide a Nobel Nickel behind something that obscure. Especially since the wheel cutter blocks are used nowhere else. Still a nice level, though. You got me with that energy element troll. Anyway, this level may not have been that long or had a lot of custom assets, but I enjoyed it anyway. It felt like something straight out of one of the classic Mega Man games, and at the end of the day, this is the Make a Good Mega Man level contest. The thing is, some parts use the tile sets in really strange ways, beginning of the water section, and the vertical rooms with the tellies got a bit annoying. The lack of a boss was disappointing, and the ending dialogue didn't make a ton of sense. All in all, though, good effort. Pretty cool first level. While playing it rather safe and not being very innovative, it has a nice difficulty curve and does a decent job at introducing various mechanics it uses. The slash claw indication on the breakables isn't obvious and the mine section is pretty bland and unnecessary, but aside from that, I enjoyed it. Not a bad level. The level design is well done, with the exception of a few sections, such as the ones with the sea mines and the ones which just feel empty. Other than that, there's not much to say about this one. I had fun playing it, but it wasn't anything too amazing, and the stage content is a little generic. If this is actually your first attempt at a level, I'd say you did pretty good. For a contest, though, it's not terribly interesting. I'm liking the destructible walls being built into the terrain as they are, and the first Nobel Nickel was very, very sneaky. I approve. I'm almost thinking the level probably should have stuck to its guns, and in a strange thought, actually kept up the weapon usage. I mean, they're there by introducing destructible blocks in the main part to clearly indicate what sort of level we're doing, except it just sort of stops and becomes generic. I thought the fake engine was kind of daft, especially since there doesn't appear to be any justification for it whatsoever. There are a few too many empty screens every so often, and that screen with nothing but mines, pointless pointless and a huge time waster since there is no change to these things whatsoever. The use of ceiling was also very inconsistent, as so when attempting to jump off the top of the screen, the player never knows if they'll bump their head off an invisible ceiling or not. It certainly is not an awful stage by any stretch of the imagination, but it did sort of lose any identity it could have had part way through, and that is a shame and very disappointing. Oh, and for once I approve of the lack of a boss following a boss corridor. While it's not a boss fight, there is still a climax of a stage of sorts, so it works. Yeah. Moving on. 35th place, Patchy. Just a nice level. Score 30.2. 35, 31, 19, 34, 32. So 4 very sort of grouped scores together and then 1 pretty low score. 1 energy element and 4 Nobel Nickels. I'm reminded of Mag Mammal 1 with this music. Cool. Always pays to go left. I hope I win. Well, you made tier 6. It's not bad, I suppose. And let's hope all the Nobel Nickels are all as easy as that. I mean, if it was obvious from the level title, just a nice level that we're going with you know, ice physics here and everything like that. I wouldn't be surprised if Chill Man showed up again. We'll wait and see on that front, but yeah, I feel like I'm expecting, if there is a boss to this, I can't remember. Chill Man. I'm assuming there might be something up there. Cool. Yeah, that was fairly obviously positioned. I'm wondering how I'm going to get out of here without taking a hit. Can I just inch along here, or am I going to drop? No, okay, I can inch along there. Cool. Okay, good, wonderful. We've got penguin dispensers, which are not so bad here, but from memory actually might make the later parts of the level really, really obnoxious. Obnoxious is too strong a word there. Difficult, let's say that. Yeah, obnoxious is way too strong. My apologies. Oh, bother. Gotta love Hornet Chaser, though. Yeah, these penguins are starting to make me nervous. Particularly, as I say, I'm pretty sure later in the level we start combining them with bottomless pits. I don't think you have anything that I would want. Okay. I'm hoping that I can backtrack whichever way. One of them hopefully is a Nobel Nickel and one not. Huh. Okay, might have to do this level twice then. I'm going to go up first of all. That was a pretty good dodge that I was not expecting to pull off. Okay, this is just obnoxiously timed. Pretty pleased with that though. Getting my bolt, why not? That's going to go for the enemy, isn't it, rather than... Oh, I suppose I could slash claw that. I could. Cool. Okay, now I'm nervous. Well, I was trying so hard to do this without taking any damage. Not that I think this is a good stage candidate for a level to do by taking no damage, and that was terrible. And I need to save it. I need to mess around on that higher platform and save a jump. Well, bugger. All right, fine. Yep, gonna have to stand on the second, or yeah, muck around on the second platform a bit more. actually need that this time. It wasn't this one, was it? Or, no, it wasn't that one. It was the one after. Okay. Yeah, it was after this thing, wasn't it? So I need to do that. Yep. That I don't fancy, to be honest. Okay, this feels odd. Okay, we've got snow Toadman sort of effects in place here. Okay, it seems to be sort of a little bit odd whether it's working for me or against me here. I'm very, very nervous about that. Especially if you're going to put Penguin. Yeah, I'm putting Jill Satellite on for this. If I get knocked back into the pit, I managed to time that out pretty nicely. But yeah, if I get knocked back in the pit there, or if I get hit, if I don't time that very well, I'm going to get knocked into the pit. That looks very, very tricky. I don't fancy it at all. I'm probably going to keep Jill Satellite on here just as a sort of a safeguard, just in case anything potentially comes out from nowhere. Yeah, this is feels ridiculously inconsistent with the direction the wind works here, whether it's going to push me back or not. I don't want to have to resort to using Rush Jet or Super Arrow for those bits. I want to do it properly. What? I swear to God there that I clipped through the stage. Because I know I didn't pull off the jump I wanted to, but I don't think... Yeah, it was this bit, wasn't it? I didn't pull this off. Yet I ended up in the pit. That would dock you points. That's just irritating. Like I said, didn't mind the penguin generators early on in the level, but yeah, kind of irritating later on when you're dealing with lots of bottomless pits. Because the chance of you getting hit by them increases. Or if you do get hit by them, it's just a lot more dangerous. And I'm probably just, at this point in time, just going to whip out Jill Satellite and have it on pretty much all the time. Let's not take liberties with that jump. Yeah, this just is not worth the risk, I don't think. I can't remember what I died on here. Was it a jump I didn't make? I can't remember what I actually died on. Oh, lovely. It was that exact jump, wasn't it? And I see an icon over there in the top left-hand side of the screen, which probably tells me that we're at the end of a level. Joy! What the hell? Okay, I am not enjoying this last section of the stage, and also the fact that I haven't got 2 Nobel Nickels either, and also this this glitchiness is off-putting and certainly not good. Some of these jumps feel like they're just a bit too tight. And as I say, sometimes it feels like the snow is working for me and sometimes working against me. Okay, we're not out of the stage quite yet. I'm definitely going to keep your Satellite on for that. In fact, the boss gate is up there, so yeah. It seems that's really weird. I can't describe how that snow gimmick feels. It honestly feels like sometimes, even though I'm still sort of jumping to the right, that sometimes I'm just getting pushed back and sometimes I'm going with the flow. It's really, really odd. Anyway, yeah, that stage wasn't too bad until the until that little final section there, after which I started just missing my jumps left, right, and centre, getting kind of annoyed. But oh well, I guess that's probably on me for missing my jumps and not doing things right. But clearly there were a couple of things in there that were very glitchy and very odd. So I don't feel like all of those are my fault. And obviously you could use Rush Jet or Super Arrow to bypass that whole section. Frankly, I'd probably recommend it. I suppose you can't do the whole section because there are like sections with a wall there, so you would have to like be on your guard there to drop down and you know and land safely. But oh well, I'm not a fan of that last little stretch. Difficult to get through if you're not sort of abusing weapons or utility items, and it's also very glitchy, as you saw there. Where I was sort of like warping ahead in the screen. At one point, warped so far ahead that I landing in a pit, which was ridiculously unfair. But anyway, we've got one alternate path, what looks like an alternate path to look at, and two Nobel Nickels to find. So yay! I'll meet you back up if I either find a Nobel Nickel where a Nobel Nickel is hidden before I get to the branching path, or failing that, the branching path. Okay, well I didn't find anything on my route to here, so either I've missed them again, or hopefully we'll find the two Nobel Nickels on this path. So yeah, let's take the down arrow this time and see what we're dealing with. And I'm just now noticing the difference in colouring in the blocks, the sort of Chillman blocks that you can break apart, or that do break apart, and the ones that don't. This looks suspicious. Good. That's one of the two I'm after. I might as well have those, I suppose. Oh dear, maybe I shouldn't have been manically shooting in this section. Oh, just get out of there, don't fancy landing on spikes. Oh, really? Those bloody things actually broke apart the sodding blocks. So surely you wouldn't be mean enough to hide a... That did not mean to shoot that one. Yeah, Nobel Nickel in there. I wouldn't have thought so. Now, unfortunately, I'm just way too up close and personal for this mini boss to be able to do this penguin thing, to be able to do anything, to be able to fight that particularly well. I do not like the placement of these enemies over the chill blocks that are just going to, you know, they're going to knock me into pits. Health would be nice. I guess that'll do, actually. Why the hell not? Thank you, Eddie. Will I be rewarded for taking the upper path here? That's annoying. No. Thank you. Probably did not mean to do that, or want to do that. This is kind of awkward to traverse through without having to sort of keep switching back to using items and such. Oh. Okay then. Different boss gate. Okay. No fight in here though, and no Nobel Nickel. Or no fourth one, so I'm still missing one. Yeah. Well, I guess I'll try and do one extra sweep then, and I'll see if I can find where it is. Well, sadness. I don't know where that last one is. I feel like it must be somewhere on the top path, because they were like you get the two. One's in the very opening room. You get one just before. I think it is anyway. The split path. So there was one on the lower path. So I feel like it's going to somewhere on the upper path, but I can't for the life of me find it now. So yeah, I'll come back to that when I've got the well, almost certainly when I've got the upgrade that will show me the position of Noble Nickels and energy elements and stuff like that. So yeah, sadness. First Noble Nickel that I'm going to have to come back for. Bother. Anyway. Yeah, I've probably said enough about the stage, really, haven't I? I think it's fine in the first half, and probably that's the lower path is easier than the upper path because you don't really get the penguin generator spamming. But yeah, the upper path with the penguins generators is really tricky to get through unless you're going to resort to weapon abuse or weapon abuse, item abuse, and whatnot. And yeah, frankly, that top section with the snow is really, really glitchy and finicky. And yeah, I'd recommend going the lower route. But yeah, no, all in all, starts off all right. But as you can probably tell from having just watched me play that, I was getting kind of annoyed there at the end of that stage. And yeah, I think yeah, the last section of that upper path is just yeah, not the best, to be honest. Anyway. 2 levels use the same Megamari Cerno 8-bit theme. I like this level, it's cute. The winter hat mechs are an adorable touch, and there's a lot of cute ideas that I think are executed pretty well. The penguin shooters, while difficult to deal with, are pretty interesting to actually work around, especially when they're used with the shield attackers, though I do think the blocks that mark where they're going to come out are a bit hard to see sometimes. They just blend in too much with the tile set, I think. I also really like how the Chillman cracking blocks are used here. The interaction with the metal mummies is really clever, and the setups are legit dangerous and difficult. What brings the level down for me is the Snow Toadman Rain section. There's a lot of really tight and obnoxious jumps, and the penguin spawners tend to just surprise you here. It just feels way more frustrating and less good than the rest of the level, but the rest of the level is pretty great as is. Also, I hope I win. I really liked how you recolored Stoneman's tile set to make an icy theme. It looks so good. Level in general was pretty cool. See what I did there? With my own overworld underground ice theme going on. The last section of the underground part was a bit too hectic, though. It was very hard to stay on the top path without using rush coil. On the top route, the penguins were spammed way too much in the snowy section. Jumping on those red platforms in the wind is hard enough without having to worry about a flying penguin knocking you into a pit. Starts out decently, but the issue of enemy placement quickly becomes visible as you go through the level. The level has ideas, but for their execution it tends to add more enemies than needed. 2 paths are also way different in terms of difficulty, with the skyward path often causing death by penguin cannons, which need a sprite that stands out more, to be fair. I get the feeling this level was designed with dual satellite in mind, as that's the most reliable way to make it past all the penguins, though for that the level does a very bad job at introducing this as an option that will be almost required in the level's later bits. I don't think this level impressed me enough. It looks just fine, but overall it's not particularly interesting. Generally, I do like its appearance and the ideas behind it, but the level often suffers from bad level design, which consists of an exaggerated quantity of enemies, not to mention the ice floor and the one section with wind, where very precise jumps must be done. I think this level could have been done better. Well, creativity-wise, it lives up to its name. Still, this level was pretty cute. Using pre-made assets, the level looks nice, and the new mech designs are adorable. Overall, this was well built, and the variety of challenges are pretty effective. There are a few spots where the stage drops the ball, though. Some of the later challenges are a serious difficulty spike, and 1 or 2 are borderline unfair. Some of the later penguin spawners challenges are a bit much, and on the Chillman path, it doesn't seem quite right that you are forced to use weapons or kill yourself off if you fail the challenge or mistime it. I know the asset is Dev Kit 1, but the level does need to be designed around the fact that these don't respawn. Shame post judging. The E-Tank path in that last cave is pretty clever and well thought out, though. As simple as it is, this was probably the highlight of the stage for me. I think this one worked and overall felt above average, which by Mega Man standards still means it's pretty good. Oh, and that first Nobel Nickel was hilarious. Top marks for that one. Lastly, don't put boss corridors in if you're not going to use a boss or a stage climax. It ends your level on a low note. And yeah, not that I necessarily want to see him again after so many fights against him, but Chillman would have fitted that stage rather nicely, so yeah, I feel slightly disappointed it didn't have a boss, but yeah. At this point in time, I feel like I've faced Chillman enough. Hey, Top Man, I should make a level for one of these contests. I think I can put an interesting spin on level design. Ha ha ha. And Infobox 14,400, we're at the tier 6 boss. Yay! Although, to be honest, one of my least favourite bosses in the entire game, if I remember correctly. Okay, I can't enter up there. Believe me, based on what's about to happen, that's a possibility. Yeah, I am now jumping like a madman to get off this screen. And I need to continue to jump like a madman until I get up to this part. And we can finally face off against the boss. Sheepman from Rockman CX. Oh gosh, you were by far the hardest boss in that game. Although of course it wasn't actually me who fought you, it was Wily's evil clone of me, Rockman CX. Now I definitely regret suggesting to Dr. Light to give you all those instant kill attacks. As I recall, your pattern revolved around quite a lot of glitches. Fortunately, this game's engine is very stable. There is no way you could... And yeah. How do you like that for unfairness? The text box... The text box, or the words in the text box start falling down, and they can damage you. And yeah, obviously this is the point of the fight, but good grief, isn't it an absolute unholy mess? Which I'm probably going to need to use get a second life on, because I'm not going to win this version. I feel like the text box lettering royally screwed me over there. But anyway, not to mention this attack, by the way, which is pretty much a one-hit KO if it hits. It wasn't actually that bad. I'm not too disappointed about that for a first fight, while I sort of somewhat get back used to how he works. And I did think the words in the text box royally screwed me over there. And I assume I'm going to get them again, because that's obviously part of the fight. Yep. Oh, that was... Oh, blimey. There was different text there. That was brutal. Oh, I can't believe I skipped that. That was disappointing. Sorry I skipped that. I'm not planning on dying again just so we can see it, but... I mean, yeah. Anyway, he said something about on the lines of, that was brutal, could the text box not be quite so obnoxious, or something along those lines. But yeah, good grief, this boss fight is just insane. I'm pretty good at getting the timing at least on dodging that, but yeah, as for dodging all his other attacks, the screen's obviously extremely glitchy. This bit in particular, you sort of just fall through the floor, through the ceiling. It's incredibly hard to keep track of that bloody bouncing projectile. That attack's not so bad if you can time it out, but I'm actually going to do worse here than I did last go, so go figure, yay! And again, I'm not using weapons, I'm going to beat him with Buster only, but we might actually, well, since I've now mucked up, we might actually get to see the text box properly this time now, I don't know. Let's see. Oh, how can I... Oh, it's different. Okay, it's still different. How can I dodge those attacks? Honestly, this fight is completely unfair. I can't understand how... and again. But, yeah, it's... Yeah, it's to some degree, it feels like it really is an unfair fight. In some regards, no, but dodging the bloody attacks from the ceiling is like a chore, and I can't do it. Like seriously, I can't do it. I am not going to resort to E-Tank or anything else, but I am having such a problem dodging the falling obstacles. It is just insane. Did I get hit there on the floor with that thing? Oh well. Not to mention there's this bloody ridiculous attack there, which knocked me down to one hit. Admittedly, I may well have got knocked down to one hit anyway. I'm doing worse, by the way. I'm doing worse every time. Isn't that wonderful? Admittedly, I did get hit there by the laser one hit, which would ordinarily be a one-hit KO, except I've of course got the don't die instantly move on. This is very difficult, but I must try again, no matter how hard. At least his opening attack no longer comes as a surprise to me. But it's still freaking hard to dodge. Everything about this thing is just hard to dodge. And if you mistime that, you are absolutely right royally screwed. But seriously, this projectile thing here that keeps bouncing around here is so flipping hard to dodge. I absolutely hate it. And I'm not a fan of this boss fight. I get hit seemingly all the time. I sort of feel like I have an idea of how to dodge things, but it never seems to work out very well. I cannot stress enough how important it is to dodge that. And look at that attack. I'm like trying to jump over Cheap Man there, but the bloody projectile came at the worst possible opportunity. Here we go again with this obnoxious rubbish. I might get him here. I might get him. Gotcha. Wow. I think what I probably should have been doing there was using charge shots while I was during that attack where you sort of glitch through the floor and then the ceiling, because I feel like actually I was trying to use uncharged shots there and I was just missing all the time. But with charge shots there, obviously it takes a bit of time to charge up, but I haven't got a lot of time to hit him anyway, so I feel like that's probably the way to go and get more damage in there. Yeah, that is a hectic fight. That didn't actually go probably too badly. I mean, I would have liked to have done it before the fourth go, but that's a freaking annoying fight. I think that's my least favourite tier boss of the entire lot. I think it is to a point unfair. I get the idea that it's not meant to be ridiculously unfair. But provided you can dodge the one-hit KO attack, it's manageable. But honestly, that fight does feel unfair. So in that regard, I just don't like it. Where is that bloody Nobel Nickel? Yeah, no, Cheap Man, is my least favourite tier boss of them all by quite a distance. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Anyway, sadness about missing the one Nobel Nickel, but other than that, we are done with tier 6. I shall come back when I have the item that locates where Nobel Nickels are, so I can track that missing one down. And plot. The vast reaches of space, a realm of infinite possibilities, and a realm of infinite evil. Why do you keep stalking me? Who even are you, anyways? What? You'll see who I am in due time, but I'm not stalking you, I am simply trying to help. We live in a world full of fear, of paranoia, of worry about the future. Again, you're being awfully melodramatic about a festival that has gone smoothly without problems. But what if there is something, say, behind the scenes, a collapse of all we know happening in the shadows? You're really not listening to me, are you? The simulations, so powerful they could possibly even access, say, alternate dimensions? What would happen then? I'll just sit here and let you finish your dumb soliloquy. Absorbing power from alternate dimensions to solve problems, or connect with worlds where things went differently. A world where things developed differently, and say robots never really became a thing. Or a world where all of this that is happening is just fiction that someone watches play out. I am starting to lose track of where I was going. I apologise, that was me going off on unrelated tangents. Space, yes, space. Have you noticed a shadow in the sky lately? No, shadow? See, this is why I talk to you. It is a shadow so tiny, not many have noticed it. It may look like a star, but it is not night time. Be wary, prepared. Something terrible might happen soon. Sigh. I wish you would just leave me alone. You have anything else to say now? You made it out of there alive? Oh, of course, yes, good work, lad. Haha, it seems I do have some bugs to patch. You can start with the tier 6 boss. And, yeah, I think I don't need to buy any extra items from the shop or anything like that. And I say I don't plan on buying a whole bunch of costumes right now. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty much just going to head off to tier 7, which is, this festival is so cool. There's so many cool computers and stuff, which I think is just over here. I think we pretty much go in order now. Burst Man? Can't remember if I talked to you or not. I made sure to get up early for this festival, and I'm really glad I did. I love the city. Plant Man definitely can't remember. Sniff. Oh, don't you just love the sweet smell of the city? I'm detecting fast food with a hint of smog. And here we are with the entrance to tier 7, McWiley's. So yeah, wonderful. We will enter McWiley's and start tier 7 next time. So I like to end on the completion of a tier. But yeah, that was tier 6. A fairly sort of decent selection of levels. Although I think to be honest, I actually preferred tier 5 levels overall. I think tier 5 has been my favourite tier so far. It's not going to finish out as being my favourite tier by any means. But yeah, I don't know. I think they were, whilst they're probably maybe quote unquote better designed levels in tier 6, they didn't feel as fun or less frustrating to me. I felt like I enjoyed tier 5 more. I'm also really disappointed I'm missing one Nobel Nickel in tier 6. But oh well, that disappointment aside, it's sort of faux annoyance there. I'm not exactly crying over it. But I'm not crying over it yet anyway. Just wait till the recording finishes and then I'll go sob into my pillow. But yeah. Yeah, I feel like tier 5 has been the one I've enjoyed the most so far. But who knows? That may change. Might enjoy tier 7 when we come to that. But yeah, like I said, that'll be next time. So hope you'll join me for that. When we'll yeah, order something from McWiley's. Until then, cheerio.